Hello everyone. Hi, hello, good evening. How are you doing, my dear students? I hope I'm visible, audible. So as and when you're able to hear me and see me, please do let me know in the comment section that everything is fine, that you are able to hear me and see me. Or you just say hi, hello, so that I'll get to know. Okay? So shall we start our amazing and important session for your 12th standard CBSE boards? So, my dear students, you all know that in biology, what is more important is you have to study diagram, because you can expect diagram based questions, you can expect case based questions as well, which can come from diagrams, right? So it's very important to study diagrams. So I'll be telling you which are the important diagrams that you have to study for your CBSE 12 boards 2024. Yes, I can see Gurupreet, King Basu, Akarsh, Yesh. Hello everyone. So my dear students, if you just type in the YouTube the most important diagrams for the 12th standard biology boards, you get to see my video. So that is of last year. But this year, or if you see in the recent years, you can see a lot of changes that is happening with respect to the diagrams. So gone are those time where they used to ask you easy diagrams to draw. So now it's very difficult to predict the diagrams, which diagrams you can expect in your CBSE 12 boards biology. It's very difficult to predict. Gone are those times where they used to ask you simple male reproductive system, simple female reproductive system. No, not anymore. Now, those unusual diagrams are being asked from your textbook. So that's what I'm going to tell you in the today's class, that is which are the important diagrams that you have to study for your class 12 boards biology, specifically 2024, right? So are you all ready? Ma'am, ye diagrams aate hai exam mein. How many diagrams, ma'am? Okay, approximately some 25 diagrams I have listed, okay, which includes certain graph as well. So let's get started with the very first chapter. Now many of you would be wondering, ma'am, how are you able to say that these are important and other are not important, right? Many students would be having this question, how are you able to say these diagrams are important? Now, whatever analysis I have done from previous 2-year question paper, that is, I have taken up the question paper of 2023 SQP, that is sample question paper of this year, 2023-2024, and the question paper of last year, and the model question paper of 2023-2022 SQP. So, by looking at these 3 question paper, I am telling you which are the important diagrams. So, let's get started. I'm your Vindhya ma'am, will be teaching zoology in this channel, and today we will be seeing which are the important diagrams starting from the chapter sexual reproduction in flowering plants. Yes, it's botany. So we'll include both botany as well as zoology. Yes, I won't be wasting your time. So my dear students, if you see previous 3 question papers like SQP as well as the question paper of 2023-2022, you get to see either directly or indirectly they have asked you to draw the diagram of the structure of matured embryo sac. So they wouldn't have asked directly, but indirectly when they are asking you to explain embryo sac, you have to draw the structure of embryo sac as well, because it's for biology. So whenever the question is more than 3 marks, equal or more than 3 marks, if they ask any question and if there is any diagram related to that, you have to draw diagram. So draw diagram whenever the question is asking you to draw, or if in case if the question is asking you to explain, if you have any related diagrams, please do draw if the question is carrying equal or more than 3 marks. Okay. So one of the important diagram, the very first important diagram that you have to study is the structure of embryo sac, which is the easiest structure. Yes. Hello Mahaboob. Hi Satyaprakash. Hi Akash. Okay. So you know what and all parts you have to draw. And when I say draw diagram, it is not just the drawing, but also you have to label, right? So you have to label. If in case if the question is only about the diagram, imagine the question is just to draw the structure of embryo sac. Then you have to label at least 7 to 8 labelings. Okay, so 8 is better. So 8 labelings you have to label if the question is asking only about diagram and if it is carrying 5 marks. Okay. So antipodals, this 3 are antipodals: polar nuclei, central cell, egg, 2 synergids, and filiform apparatus. This is the NCRT diagram. So this is one important diagram. Next important diagram, that is embryonic development. Embryo sac development, not embryonic. Embryonic is in human reproduction chapter. Okay. So my dear students, they haven't asked you to draw this diagram directly in the recent year. I guess last year or this year sample question paper, if you see, there is a question which is asking you to explain about the megaspore development into embryo sac. I guess it was 4 or 5 marks question. So whenever such question is being asked, you have to draw diagram. Okay. So if you draw diagram, you can reduce the points that you will be writing. Okay, so that is why it's important to learn diagram and have to draw in the answer paper, because whenever you draw certain things, you can reduce the writing part. Okay, so this is the diagram that you have to draw regarding megaspore development into the embryo sac. This is next important diagram from the same chapter. Labelings we already know, right? And the other labelings which is of, so this is the diagram that you have to draw. And another diagram, now you can get to see the MCQ question, that is a 1 marker MCQ question in part A. I guess this year or last year's question paper, if you see, I guess this year only, model question paper or sample question paper, they have given the structure of this diagram, that is a, it's a Dicot embryo development, and they have asked to label this. Okay, X, Y, Z, something like that has been given. So suspensor, radical, cotyledons, 2 cotyledons because it's dicot, and plumule region you have to, learn. Okay, yes. And I have to tell you one more important thing. My dear students, if you see the 3 question paper, that is model question paper of 2023, model question paper of 2023-2024, that is of last year, and the question paper of last year, that is 2023. So what you can make out is, you can see one common pattern. That is, they haven't asked any normal diagrams. They haven't asked you to draw the mammary gland or male reproductive system or female reproductive system. So certain pattern is being followed. So specifically, if you open last year's model question paper and final year question paper, if you compare, what you get to see is, in the model question paper, if they have asked you to draw diagram, in the final year question paper, they have asked to explain the concept related to that diagram. Similarly, in the model question paper, if they have asked you to explain certain thing, in final year question paper, you can see they have asked you to draw a diagram related to that. Okay, so what is my suggestion is, please study 2023-2024 model question paper. Yes, what I mean, study. That is, whatever concept they have given in part A, part B, part C, part D, and even part E. Whatever concepts they have asked, so study that concept. So questions they have given, right? So when you read the question, you get to see from which concept they have asked you. So study that concept very well along with the diagram. So diagram related to all the questions that they have asked and study the concepts. Okay, have you understood? So this is very important pointer, and by doing this, hi Kirti, hi Lifetime, hi Sakshi. Yes. So by doing this, you are able to score minimum 50 out of 70. So 50 plus is guaranteed by doing this practice. And the next important diagram is embryo. So since they have asked in 1 marker question, they have asked to label the embryonic development in the dicot. They can also ask you to draw this time any of this 2 embryo, dicot embryo or typical, the LS of the grass embryo. So this can be asked maybe in the form of MCQs. They can ask to label or they can ask you to draw as it is. Okay, so this is next important diagram. And then we have the zoology chapter, human reproduction. You can expect, definitely you can expect a drawing from this chapter, right? So tell me in the comment section, my dear students, did you all practice all the diagrams of human reproduction chapter? Yes or no? Please do tell me. Please do tell me in the comment section or in the live chat. Hi Santosh. Thank you Dhriti. Thank you so much. I don't understand Marathi. I don't know Marathi. Okay. So human reproduction chapter is damn important chapter because every year they will be asking diagram related question. They may ask you to draw diagram, or they may not ask you to draw diagram, but they will ask you to explain and then add a diagram on that, because 5 marker question will be expected from this chapter, right? So human reproduction, which are the important diagrams? So I haven't given the male and female reproductive system here, because as I told you, gone are those days. It used to be asked before, but not nowadays. Like in past few years, if you see, they're not asking directly to draw these diagram. But if you have time, please do practice. If you don't have time, it is okay. Concentrate on other diagrams which I am telling you now. Okay. If you have time, please do practice all the diagrams. If you do not have time to practice diagram, and if you are left with only few time, if you have to keep revising all the things, then you can skip the other diagrams which I am not mentioning in today's class. Okay. So spermatogenesis, if you see the model question paper of 2023-2024, they have asked some question related to spermatogenesis. So by this, what we have to understand is this year, they can ask you, that is this in final year question paper, you can ask you to draw the spermatogenesis flow chart. Did you all study the flow chart? And by the way, if you study the flow chart, this will be helpful for 1 marker question, that is MCQ, assertion and reasoning type of a question. Also, it will be helpful for 2 marks, 3 marks, because this is a guaranteed concept. Something related to this will be surely asked in 2024 academic years. This year's exam. If you see, you can expect any sort of a question from this. So understand and study this and practice this flow chart. Okay. And another important diagram that might not be asked to draw, but you can expect case-based study or related questions, that is from this graph. That is various events during menstrual cycle. In which phase you are able to see, LH surge. In which phase you are able to see increased progesterone secretion. So understand this graph very well. If you want, I'll be explaining case-based study, 2 marker question, even fill in the blanks, not fill the blanks, sorry, MCQs. So all sort of this question can be asked from this graph. Okay. So if you consider menstrual cycle, the very first phase is menstruation. So in menstruation, what do we get to see? The pituitary hormones will be slightly produced, that is FSH and LH will be slightly produced. Whereas in the ovary, if you see, the events of developing follicles will be happening. Ovarian hormone are not produced in that quantity, but in the uterine, in the uterus, the event that we get to see is menses, that is flow of blood. Endometrium would be breaking down during the menstruation. Next phase is follicular phase. As the name say, in follicular phase, what will be produced? FSH will be produced. Follicular stimulating hormone will be produced, right? And slightly the amount of LH will be produced. And in ovary, what event you get to see? Ovaries are the follicles are developing, inside which even ovum is also developing. And estrogen and progesterone is slightly being produced, not in a more quantity. But then, as in when you get to see that 15th day of menstrual cycle, 14th, 15th day of menstrual cycle, that is in the ovulation phase, over here, you get to see LH surge. So LH will be produced in the maximum quantity, that is it will go to the peak. That is why it is called as LH surge. Cause of that, we get to see ovulation happening. And even FSH also will be produced in the peak, but not, it will be comparatively LH, compared to LH, FSH would be produced in little less quantity. And then in ovary, you get to see rupture of the Graafian follicle to release ovum. And estrogen is maximum during this time. Why? Because the follicles will be producing estrogen, so it will be maximum during the ovulation phase. And then in luteal phase, you get to see progesterone getting to the peak, right? So corpus luteum will be produced, which will be releasing the progesterone. And you can see endometrium is proliferated, like the maximum amount of endometrium you get to see, which will break down during menstruation, and then once again proliferation of endometrium, and this will keep on happening again and again in a cyclical manner. Okay. Okay. क्लास कब शुरू होता है? कौन सा क्लास? Oogenesis is frequently asked. Yes. Oh, okay. You're asking oogenesis is frequently asked. Oogenesis, related to oogenesis, yes. Related to oogenesis, questions are being asked. But compared, why did I mention spermatogenesis specifically? Because in the model question paper, they have given spermatogenesis related questions. So we are expecting that even diagram can be asked. But also, oogenesis can also be asked. The diagram of oogenesis can also be asked. So it's very similar to that of spermatogenesis, but it will be happening in, in the different phases. The phases are like quietly different. Like if you consider the spermatogenesis is starting from puberty, but oogenesis will be starting from the birth itself. So those things you should be keeping in your mind. Okay. So these are some of the important diagram. Next important diagram. If you see the model question paper, they have given a certain case-based study question from this diagram. So you can expect this time, you can expect the drawing. So they may ask you to draw the ovum surrounded by sperm. So this is the diagram that you have to draw. Now we are very much expecting the question from this, because in the model question paper, we get to see case-based study question, that is they have given the diagram, but they have asked certain question related to this. So if the question comes to draw, you have to draw the corona radiata that is present outside over here. Corona radiata, you have to draw it. If possible, label, otherwise it's okay. And then zona pellucida need to be drawn. This one. And then the two vitellin membranes, and between that pre-vitellin space you have to draw. This one, pre-vitellin space. And then the ovum. Okay. So cells of corona radiata, zona pellucida, and pre-vitellin space. Okay. And the sperm touching the zona pellucida. So that is another important diagram. And again, a question was being asked, human fetus in uterus. So this is the first time that they have asked to draw the human fetus in uterus. It's the first time. So that's why I was saying gone are those time where they used to ask questions like draw male reproductive system, female reproductive system, mammary gland. No, gone are those days. Now certain unusual diagrams of NCERT is being asked. So that is why we should be more careful with respect to diagram. So this is the diagram that was being asked to draw. So what I can guarantee is they may not ask you to draw this diagram once again, but questions related to this diagram can be asked for sure. Like you can expect case-based study question from this, or labeling related question you can expect from this diagram. Or they may ask you to explain how the fetus will be getting nutrients inside the womb. So such question can be asked from this. Okay. So labeling, placental villi, umbilical cord, this is the embryo, and embryo is covered by yolk sac. Cavity of the uterus, this is uterus. Inside the uterus you get to see the embryo developing, right? And this is the plug of mucus in cervix. So these are the labelings. And then this is very much expected question this time. That is, you can expect the diagram that is to draw, because last year they have asked this, last year or in the model question paper, sample question paper, fertilization and passage of growing embryo in the fallopian tube. From this till here, I guess in the sample question paper of 2022-2023 they have asked this to draw. And in the marking scheme, this was 3-marker question, but in the marking scheme they have given the diagram as well. Okay, so study this diagram. These are certain unusual diagram which was not been asked before, but now they are being asked recently. This question, the diagram related to that, this particular diagram is being asked recently. So ovum, fertilization, 2-celled stage, and then 4-celled stage, morula. And then morula will be soon converted into 16-celled stage, blastocyst. In blastocyst we get to see inner mass and trophoblast, right? So they can ask you to draw inside the uterus, where do we get to see this development, and even case-based study questions can come from this, right? So here we are done with 2 chapters important diagram, comparing with our past 2 years question papers. We have concluded which are the important diagrams. So no other diagrams I'm calling it as important based upon 2 to 3 year question paper. Okay. And next is reproductive health. Hello Anand Saxena. Hi Babita, thank you. Hi Abhin. Okay, Abhinav is saying something else. Okay, fine. Now reproductive health. Ma'am, are you kidding me? Reproductive health, what diagram do we have in reproductive health? That's what you're wondering, I know. So if you see the model question paper, from reproductive health, you can, if you see the from reproductive health, they have asked case-based study question. They have asked which contraceptive will be acting in a what way. So such question was being asked. So 5-marker question is guaranteed from reproductive health. Along with other marker question, 5-marker question is guaranteed. So this time we can expect definitely question from vasectomy, tubectomy, or they may ask you to draw vasectomy and tubectomy. And if they ask you to write something about vasectomy and tubectomy for 5 marks, you have no other way than drawing these 2 diagrams. Okay. So what is the importance of learning these 2 diagrams? That is, by learning these 2 diagrams, you will also learn male and female reproductive system. Yes or no? So that is an advantage. Okay. So learn to draw human male and female reproductive system so that you can learn vasectomy and tubectomy diagram. So what you have to show in vasectomy is the vas difference is cut and tied. Okay, so you have to show the cut part and the tied part of vas difference from both the side. It's important to show from both the side. then only we can say that, you know, it's a successful permanent contraception. And tubectomy, that is fallopian tube is being cut and tied. So this region you have to show it is being cut and tied, okay, cut and tied. So you should be showing this, okay. So that is vasectomy and tubectomy. Better to learn this because 5-marker question is expected from this concept. You have options, however, internal options were being given in the model question paper. So there is high chance of asking the question from vasectomy and tubectomy this year, okay. And then evolution. Gone are those days once again where they used to ask you to draw Miller, experimental setup. Urey-Miller's experimental setup they used to ask before, but not now. Diagrams will come for how many marks, ma'am? My dear students, it's very difficult to answer this question because in biology, if they ask you, let's say if they ask you to explain vasectomy, if they ask you for 5 marks, you have to draw a diagram even if they haven't asked you to draw. The reason being how you will be fulfilling the answer. For 5 marks, you are supposed to give 10 points, right? For 5 marks, you have to give 10 points. But related to tubectomy, you don't have any other points. So you have to draw a diagram. Okay. So in general, I can say around 30 marks, 20 marks, minimum 20 marks you can cover if you know all the diagrams from the question paper. Okay. If you know all the related diagrams, then you can, even if you do not know certain points, by drawing, you can get good marks. Okay. So in evolution, you can expect the question from types of natural selection or selection, that is disruptive, distributional, directional types of selection, because a case-based study question was being asked in the sample question paper 2023-2024, which means once again a question can come from this concept. Either they'll ask you to explain or differentiate 3 types of selection. So you will be explaining these 3 diagrams. Okay. Stabilization, directional and disruptive. Okay. Stabilization, directional and disruptive selection. Okay. So only one diagram I have mentioned. Now coming to human health and disease chapter, 2023-2024 sample question paper, if you see, the question came related to antibodies. Okay, question came related to replication of retrovirus. So this is the question that you get to see in 2023-2024, that is this year's sample question paper. So they have asked to literally draw it. This time they will ask you to explain it and you have to draw this diagram. Okay. So this is the guaranteed question, 5-marker question you can expect. This is almost guaranteed question because in the sample question paper they have asked this. Okay. Yeah, Samaksh, what is your question? Diagrams give extra marks in answer. Diagrams do not give extra marks. Diagrams gives you mark. If they ask you to explain embryo sac for 5 marks, you have to draw the diagram because it is biology. And have you seen in the beginning of the question paper, if you see, they will write wherever the diagrams are required, draw. They are not writing that don't draw a diagram if they have not asked. No. So diagrams don't give you extra marks. They will give you marks. You have to draw a diagram for 5 marks. And that's what I'm saying. Whatever question, if it is of more than 3 marks, and if in NCERT they have given diagrams related to that, you have to draw a diagram. Okay. Got it? Yes. So this was of sample question paper of this year. They have asked a question related to replication of retrovirus. So this time also you can expect for sure. And apart from that, if you see last year, that is 2023 sample question paper, and if you see the final year question paper of 2023, one question is common, that is antibody. Draw the structure of antibody. Okay, so by this we can say that whatever they give in sample question paper, similar or same question will be asked. In general, what I can say is answer is going to be same for both the sample question paper as well as the final year question paper. So that's what it is going to happen. So 2023-2022 sample question paper had this question related to antibody, that is they have asked to draw. Here they have asked to explain antibody, which means you have to draw the diagram. Okay, so antibody structure is important. Even case-based study question can be asked. And then life cycle of Plasmodium they have asked to explain in the recent question paper. So it's better to draw and explain so that your time will be less consumed. Otherwise, you have to write all the 5 points. Okay. Yes. Okay. So this is also important diagram. And biotechnology principles and processes. PBr322 plasmid structure. Please do study them very well. You should know their restriction site. What and all different restriction site it has got. Where are the restriction sites? Which are the antibiotic resistant genes over here? Where is ORI region? What is ROP? So all of this should be known. Okay. So one more thing is, one more important is about ecosystem, which from the lower classes only you already know that is different types of pyramids. So questions have come from different types of pyramid. So pyramid which explains the, the trophic levels related to the energy, that is the pyramid of energy, pyramid of biomass, pyramid of numbers, inverted pyramid. So all the 4 pyramids that is being given in NCERT is important. You need not study these numbers. You need not study this number, but you should be knowing at least what type of pyramid we get to see. Is it inverted or is it upright pyramid? And like you should be able to draw it in this manner. So producer always comes at the base. Producer always comes at the base. Okay. And the tertiary consumers will be at the top. So TC tertiary consumer, P producer, PC primary consumer, SC secondary consumer. Okay. And also a question is being asked from species area relationship. So understand it very well. I hope your botany teachers would have taught you, would have made you understand. So this is also quite important, I can say. This used to come in older question paper, but case-based study questions and all can come from this. That is why I have mentioned it is not difficult. That is why I have given the image which you can easily study. It is just this. And you have to remember this as well, not simply drawing the arrows. Okay. So that is for that is it for today. I hope I have given you all the important diagrams. Let me quickly take your questions if you have got. Ma'am, large fishes eat smaller fishes, then zooplankton and phytoplankton is inverted food chain. It's not inverted food chain. There is nothing called as inverted food chain. It is inverted pyramid. Okay. By the way, zooplankton and phytoplankton are not large and small fish. Zooplankton is nothing but it's the animals which are microscopic or semi-microscopic, which is in water. Phytoplanktons are algae, some of the algae. Okay. So if you want me to explain quickly about zooplankton, phytoplankton concept. So producers are phytoplanktons. So their number is more, but if you see the mass, they have lesser mass compared to the zooplankton. Okay. Here PC is zooplankton. Amoeba, all this protozoa, protists, some of the protists are example for zooplankton. Amoeba, Plasmodium, euglena, those all are example for zooplankton. Fine. I hope you have got it. My dear students, please be serious. Please be serious. CBSE exam is going to be, difficult, as in when we are comparing From the previous year, before it was easy, now they are making it quite difficult. They are giving case-based study questions, MCQs, assertion and reasoning type of a question, and they're not giving any easy diagrams or there is no guaranteed diagrams. Before there used to be guaranteed diagrams, but not now. So, however, to make it easy, they are giving you sample question paper. They are giving you idea through the sample question paper. So, study the sample question paper. Study the related concepts very well, because very similar or same question you can expect in the final year. That is this, year's final exam as well. Okay. So, I hope I have contributed enough. So if you have got, please do ask. Otherwise, we will say tata, bye-bye to each other. Yes, yes, yes. So that's all for today. Let's meet in the next class, next video. If you are NEET aspirants, tomorrow, that is, what is today's date? 13. Yeah, on 14th, we have class. We will be, discussing the questions and concept of locomotion and movement for the NEET exam, so you can join me. Okay, so that's it. Bye bye.